Hey guys, this is TJ with Shy Entrepreneur. I'm here today to talk to you about starting up a small business. I want to go over a few things that you need to keep in mind if you're looking at getting started in business, specifically small businesses, because there's a lot that if you don't know about, aren't exposed to, the chances of success can be pretty minimal. So I'm going to cover a few things today that hopefully you'll find very helpful and direct you in your ventures. The first thing I want to talk about is the volatility of small business. Small business by nature is volatile. The reason why small business is volatile is because small business is small business because large business has deemed the pursuit of such markets not worth the effort. The reason for this is large businesses like steady markets that have smaller margins. So small businesses are left with markets that highly fluctuate. This creates a problem for small businesses because most of the time there's not a whole lot of capital there, and the ebb and flow of the demand can cause somebody to have to shut their doors because they can't pay their bills. So volatility is a huge thing that you need to keep in mind when you're looking at pursuing a small business. If you don't have the finances to back you when the demand drops and you're not selling your product or service, it could hurt you. It could end up shutting your doors. So keep that in mind. Understand that that's part of small business. Don't think that you're going to create a product or service and then all of a sudden the world's at your fingertips, because it's not. There's a lot of hard work and a lot of change. Very dynamic. So the other thing that I want to talk about is when you're looking at getting started, find something that aligns with who you are. If you're not aligned with your business, the chances of success drop significantly. A specific example is I was looking at potentially starting up a frozen yogurt stand here in town, and I did my research, found out for, it was around 40 grand I could have got this thing up and going, and probably would have been making money. The problem was I didn't want to spend my days dishing out yogurt, so I put the kibosh on that and moved on because it wasn't something I cared to pursue. It didn't align with who I am. So when you're looking at getting started, do something you enjoy. If you're not doing what you enjoy, ultimately it's not going to work out for you. There's tons of people out there competing in the same marketplace, and the ones that do enjoy and love what they do are the ones that are going to stand out. So make sure you're aligned with the business that you're looking at pursuing. That's a big one. The next thing is market positioning. As I said, business is volatile, so when you bring your product or service to the market, you have to keep in mind that this volatile market has certain demands, and if you don't meet those demands in a way that other people are meeting them, you're not going to get the dollar bills in the door. You need to be providing your product service in a way that people want to come to you. You have to have a competitive advantage. There's 3 metrics to a competitive advantage, which I discuss in a prior article and a prior video, and you can check those out. But you want to make sure that you have a quality product or service and that you're providing it very quickly. If you're not providing a quality product or service fast, you're not going to do well. Large businesses rely on consistent demands, longer lead times, so if you're doing custom work, you gotta bust it out quick, you gotta do a good job, and that's synonymous with all small businesses. So high quality work real quickly. That also demands then a higher price for your product or service. Don't be afraid to charge more for what you're doing because you are providing a custom solution. If it's not a custom solution, if you're trying to compete with McDonald's and pop out a billion cheeseburgers making 10 cents off of each burger, it's not going to happen. So don't be afraid to charge a larger margin. People expect to pay more for custom work, for smaller volume work. So make sure that your margin is in there, because if it's not, you're not going to cover your expenses because you're not going to have the volume to cover everything. The last thing that I want to touch on is growth strategy. Small businesses should only stay small for a while. You need to be looking to the future as to what potential steps you're going to take to move on. If you're not doing that, over time your doors are going to shut. You need to be growing. You need to have a plan in place to continue on. If you're stagnant, if you're staying in one place, you're going backwards. The only constant in business is change, and you need to be changing, you need to be growing. If you're not, you will go under. So, recap. Remember that small businesses are volatile by nature. There's no getting out of that. That's just the way that it is. You need to have large margins with the products or service you provide. You need to provide them fast, and you need to have a high quality product or service. So I hope that helps. There are kind of general rules to follow, but if you don't keep that in mind when you're looking at getting started, you're going to hurt yourself in the long run. So find something you love, dig into it, and yeah, give people what they need.